Some objects are more than just wood, plastic, or cloth. They are vessels, absorbing the energy around them, and sometimes they become more than just inanimate objects. They can transform into conduits for something sinister, something beyond our understanding. In the world of the paranormal, few items inspire as much fear and intrigue as a simple Raggedy Ann doll named Annabelle. Her story is one that has captivated and terrified people for decades. She is not just a toy, but a legend, a chilling reminder that evil can attach itself to the most innocent of things. Her presence is a stark warning that appearances can be deceiving. Her story stands apart from other hauntings. Annabelle is a mobile source of malevolence, carrying her curse wherever she goes. Unlike other haunted objects, she has a unique ability to move and influence her surroundings. Her stitched smile hides a legacy of psychological torment, physical attacks, and unexplained phenomena. Those who have encountered her speak of an overwhelming sense of dread and fear. This is not Hollywood fiction. Her story is rooted in real events, documented by renowned paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. Their accounts provide a chilling glimpse into the true nature of Annabelle. Annabelle's power lies in her deceptive appearance. She looks harmless, but those who've been near her speak of a heavy, oppressive energy. It's a stark contrast that makes her all the more terrifying. The contrast between her innocent form and the darkness she channels is what makes her so disturbing. It's a reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. Today we'll delve into Annabelle's terrifying history, from her origins in 1970, when she first came into the possession of a young nurse, to her time with Ed and Lorraine Warren, who took her into their care to prevent further harm, to her rise as a pop culture icon, featured in movies and documentaries that have spread her legend far and wide, and the tragedy that struck just last week, reminding us that her story is far from over. Some forces, as Annabelle's story proves, should never be underestimated. Her tale is a chilling reminder of the unseen dangers that can lurk in the most unexpected places. Annabelle's story begins in 1970, a time when the world seemed simpler, and the warmth of family was a comfort many cherished. Donna, a young nursing student living in Hartford, received a Raggedy Ann doll from her mother as a birthday present, a gesture meant to bring a sense of home and nostalgia to her new apartment. At first, the doll was a comforting presence in Donna's life, a cheerful reminder of childhood innocence that brightened the small apartment she shared with her roommate Angie. But soon, the ordinary began to unravel. Donna and Angie noticed the doll inexplicably moving on its own, appearing in different rooms. Its position subtly but unmistakably changed, even when no one else was home. What started as subtle shifts became impossible to ignore. The doll would turn up behind locked doors in places neither of them could explain, as if it had a mind of its own. Then, the truly bizarre began. Strange notes appeared on parchment paper they didn't own, scrawled with desperate messages like, "Help us," and "Help Lou." The handwriting was unfamiliar, the paper old and out of place. Lou, a close friend of Donna and Angie, felt especially uneasy around the doll. He often sensed a cold, watchful presence whenever he visited, and the air seemed to thicken with dread. One afternoon, Lou awoke from a nap, paralyzed with fear. Annabelle sat nearby, her button eyes fixed on him, and a sudden burning pain seared across his chest. He found bloody, claw-like scratches on his skin, marks that appeared out of nowhere, yet healed within days, leaving behind only questions and a growing sense of terror. The doll's presence grew increasingly oppressive. Shadows seemed to linger longer, and the sense of being watched became overwhelming, as if something unseen was always lurking just out of sight. Donna and Angie realized something was terribly wrong. Their once safe haven now felt like a trap, and fear crept into every corner of their lives. What began as a gift of innocence had become a vessel of darkness, transforming their lives in ways they could never have imagined. The line between comfort and terror had been crossed, and the apartment was no longer a place of peace, but a battleground between the ordinary and the unexplainable. The haunting was no longer just a story, it was their reality. Desperate and afraid, Donna and Angie knew they needed help before the darkness claimed them completely. Desperate, Donna and Angie consulted a psychic medium, who claimed the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins. Moved by sympathy, they gave the spirit permission to stay, a grave mistake. The activity intensified, growing more sinister and threatening. The child spirit was a facade, the entity was not a lost girl but something inhuman. Realizing they were in danger, the women contacted a priest who reached out to Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens, experienced demonologists, sensed a dark, inhuman presence immediately. Ed explained, "Human spirits haunt places, not objects. Only a demonic entity could attach itself to a doll. The demon's goal was not to possess the doll, but to possess a human host. The doll was a tool to generate fear and weaken its victims. Lou's attack was a clear sign of its malevolence. The Warrens knew the doll had to be removed to protect Donna and her friends. Annabelle was no longer just a haunted object, she was a demonic conduit. The time for containment had come. The Warrens took action. Destroying Annabelle wasn't an option. The entity would simply be released. The Warrens took the doll, but even the drive home was perilous, with the car stalling until Ed doused Annabelle with holy water. At home, Annabelle continued to move and levitate, her influence undiminished. Recognizing the danger, the Warrens built a special glass case, blessed by a priest, to contain her. The case bore a stark warning, "Positively do not open." Annabelle became the centerpiece of the Warrens' occult museum, surrounded by other cursed artifacts. Even behind glass, her presence radiated a chilling energy. The museum was not for entertainment, it was a repository of real evil. Annabelle was its most notorious resident. The warning on Annabelle's case was no gimmick, it was born from real danger. The sign, bold and unmissable, is a stark reminder that what lies within is not just a relic, but a force that has left a trail of fear and misfortune. For many, it's the first hint that this is no ordinary museum exhibit. The Warrens, renowned paranormal investigators, cautioned every visitor, negative emotions like anger or mockery could provoke the entity within the doll. They believed that Annabelle was sensitive to the energy of those around her, and that disrespect could awaken something sinister. Still, despite the warnings, some visitors couldn't resist mocking Annabelle, treating her as a harmless oddity. But those who did often found themselves at the center of bizarre and sometimes tragic consequences, as if the doll demanded respect in her own chilling way. One infamous story tells of a young man who taunted the doll, laughing at the legends. Just hours later, he lost control of his motorcycle and crashed, his life cut short in a sudden, violent accident that left investigators baffled. His girlfriend, who had been with him at the museum, survived the crash, but was hospitalized for over a year, her recovery slow and filled with unexplained complications. She later claimed to have felt a strange presence ever since that day. A skeptical priest once dismissed Annabelle's power, brushing off the stories as superstition. Yet, as he left the museum, his car was struck in a near-fatal accident. He later admitted he couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed him. Other visitors have reported sudden chest pains, terrifying nightmares, and even glimpses of shadowy figures lurking in their rooms after disrespecting the doll. Some say the fear lingers for weeks, haunting their thoughts and dreams. While these stories are anecdotal, the pattern is undeniably disturbing. The sheer number of similar accounts spanning decades has only deepened the mystery and fear surrounding Annabelle. Annabelle's entity is not passive, it reacts to provocation, as if the doll itself is a conduit for something far more dangerous than anyone can see. The glass case is a shield, designed to contain her power, but it can't protect people from their own recklessness, or from the consequences of ignoring the warnings. The tales surrounding Annabelle have only fueled her legend, passed from one visitor to the next, growing with every retelling. Her reputation as a cursed object is built on decades of fear, tragedy, and the chilling testimonies of those who dared to challenge her. The line between myth and reality blurs with every new account, making it harder to separate fact from fiction. Annabelle's power, whether real or imagined, is undeniable. The fear she inspires is as tangible as the glass that contains her. She remains a symbol of the dangers of the unknown, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left undisturbed. For years, Annabelle's story was whispered among paranormal circles, until Hollywood took notice. The Conjuring, 2013, introduced her to millions, transforming the Raggedy Ann doll into a terrifying porcelain icon. The public's fascination exploded, leading to a series of blockbuster spin-offs. The films blurred fact and fiction, but Annabelle's legend only grew. The real doll remained locked away, but her on-screen image became a global symbol of horror. In 2019, the Warrens' Occult Museum closed, and Annabelle was placed in the care of Tony Spera and Ness PR. For the first time in decades, she was hidden from public view. But her story was far from over. Plans were forming to take Annabelle back on the road. The next chapter would prove even more dangerous. With the museum closed, Ness PR launched the Devils on the Run tour in 2025, bringing Annabelle and other haunted artifacts to paranormal conventions across America. Annabelle, transported in her original glass case and guarded by investigator Dan Rivera, was the star attraction. Crowds flocked to see her, drawn by her dark reputation. Rivera warned attendees of the real dangers associated with the doll. Despite precautions, rumors and strange occurrences followed the tour. A viral hoax claimed Annabelle had escaped after a fire, sparking panic online. Rivera debunked the rumors, but the incident showed how powerful Annabelle's legend had become. The tour was a risky experiment, moving a supposed demonic conduit across the country. The energy around Annabelle seemed to intensify with every stop. No one could foresee the tragedy that was about to unfold. In July 2025, the tour reached Gettysburg, a town haunted by its own dark history. Dan Rivera, Annabelle's handler and lead investigator, was found dead in his hotel room. Official reports confirmed natural causes. Annabelle was secured elsewhere at the time. Still, the timing fueled speculation that the doll's curse had claimed a life. The paranormal community mourned Rivera's loss and condemned the sensationalism. They urged respect for his family and the official findings. Yet the question lingered. Was this a tragic coincidence, or another chapter in Annabelle's legacy? The line between myth and reality blurred once more. Annabelle's story had taken a deadly turn. In the wake of tragedy, Annabelle sits at the center of a fierce debate. Is she truly a conduit for evil, or just a doll wrapped in myth and fear? Skeptics point to rational explanations: pranks, memory lapses, coincidence. Believers see a pattern of malevolent activity too consistent to ignore. The Warrens and those close to the case were convinced of her danger. Decades of fear and fascination may have created a powerful thought form, or perhaps something truly inhuman clings to her. Whether cursed object or myth-made monster, Annabelle's legacy is undeniable. She reflects our struggle to understand evil, and the possibility that it can hide in the most innocent forms. Her story endures, a chilling reminder of the power of belief. Some mysteries, like Annabelle, refuse to be contained.